One of the most prevalent lies in our economy right now is that people are struggling because billionaires are hoarding wealth. That's not reality. It's just not. And the more people who can understand what's actually happening, the closer we're going to get to an actual prescription. If you care about helping people, if you care about the bottom 20% or whatever little economic group you want to isolate and go, these people's worlds need to be better, we need to improve their economic standing. If you really truly care about it, then you'll actually want to learn what's really going on and why we're really in the situation that we're in. So I'm bringing up these 4 charts. I'm going to go through them here in just a couple of minutes. If you'll bear with me for just a couple of minutes, we'll walk through these things, because I think one of the biggest issues that we're talking about when it comes to economics right now is people can't afford houses. I can't buy a house, can't buy a house, can't buy a house. So let's take a look at some things. Here in this corner, we have the M2 money supply. Now I'll give you guys a guess where 2020, where our pandemic happened. Right? You can see this massive spike in 2020. You can see here is the average price of houses for sale in the United States. Guess where 2020 is? Right here in this darn near parabolic looking spike is 2020, post-pandemic era. Why? Because we massively increased the money supply. But if you look down here in the bottom corner, we stopped building houses. This is housing starts, collapsed, and we're just barely getting back, and then we fell again. So we're not building as many houses, but we dumped all this money into the economy. The government did those things. Okay? Not billionaires. The government did this. The government dumped tons of money into the economy, shut the economy down so we couldn't build houses. The populations continued to grow. So we have a growing population, a massive increase in the money supply, and we're not building more houses. As much as we like to talk about all these different outside factors, all these different things that are causing stuff to get more expensive, it is government intervention in the economic system. It is the increasing money supply that is causing things to get more expensive. It doesn't have anything to do with how much money Jeff Bezos has. It doesn't have anything to do with how much money Mark Zuckerberg has. I'm sorry to tell you that. And BlackRock and these companies that are buying houses are doing it because we're not building and we're increasing the money supply. So this looks like a good return on investment type of asset. You could ban them from buying the properties, but it's not going to solve the problem. The government needs to stop printing money. But as long as we keep deficit spending, as long as we keep spending trillions, literally trillions of dollars more than we're taking in, we will continue to suffer this problem. This will continue to be an issue. It won't change. So everything else is kind of superfluous. And when it comes from the government, most of it's just trying to be, it's mostly just a distraction. And by the way, just so we know about the concentration of wealth and we can have an honest conversation about it, I got one more chart to show you here. This is the amount of wealth held by the bottom 50%. Now, they have a smaller percentage of the overall pie, but the pie has gotten significantly bigger. Okay, so as you can see, the pie has gotten significantly bigger. And so therefore, the bottom 50% are holding significantly more wealth. The reason things are getting out of reach financially for the bottom 50%, if you want to look at it that way, is because the money supply is growing so fast that it's exceeding productive capacity. So supply is not keeping up with demand. And what people will say is, well, there's all these houses out there. I know that's what you're going to say. There's a lot of other factors here, not the least of which is, yes, we have a large supply of houses, but we don't have a large supply of affordable homes. Okay? People can't sell their houses at losses. And we're not building starter homes. And there's a lot of zoning stuff and other things we can talk about. But overall, what we're looking at is a massive increase in the supply of housing, or in the supply of money, with no correlating supply increase in the supply of homes while the population continues to grow. That's it. It's that simple. Economics isn't a mystery. It's actually quite simple. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.